Welcome to Test Prep Central. We are working on solving equations in Calculator Workshop 1. On example 1, we are told to solve using a graph and table. The first thing you're going to do is go to y equals. Let me clear my memory. And in y1, type the left side of the first equation. The left side will be 2x, open parentheses, x minus 3, close parentheses. Arrow down to y2, type in the right side of the equation. Negative, which is below your 3, x next to alpha, plus 7. Graph. If your screen does not look like my screen, type zoom 6 to produce a standard viewing window, and then you'll see this screen. You must see the points of intersection to locate them with the calculation menu. If you can see the 2 points of intersection, proceed to the next step. Second, trace. 5, enter, enter, enter. The intersection point will be the one closest to where the cursor was located. And in this case, the intersection point is -1, 8. X equals -1 is the solution to the equation. Let's find the other solution. Second, trace. 5, enter, enter, enter. Oh, we just found the same solution. In order to find the other solution, you have to move over to the other side of the graph. To do that, type second, trace, 5. Use your arrows to move to the other side. Depending on which side you're on, sometimes you'll use the right arrow to go to the right side. Other times you'll already be on the right side, so you'll use the left arrows to go to the left side. You don't have to get all the way to the other side as long as you're closer to that point of intersection. When you type enter, 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 you will see the point of intersection on the other side. This solution is x is equal to 3.5. To find integer solutions in the table, type second graph, and it will take you to the table. You're looking for x coordinates where the 2 y coordinates are the same. And so in this problem, the -1 is not displayed. I'm going to need to scroll up, and you'll see that at -1, the 2 y coordinates, 8 and 8, are displayed. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is locate the solution 3.5. Well, obviously 3.5 is not in this table. So in order to see it, you will go to table set, which is second window, and tell the table to start at 3.5, and it will go directly to that solution, second graph. And there it is. The 2 y coordinates just happen to be the same as the x coordinate, but the solution is x equals 3.5. On example 2, we're going to type in the left side of the equation in y1. So go back to y equals. You can either type over this or you can clear this. I'm going to clear and then type it over. Type starting fresh. So type negative, the negative below the 3, 2, x plus absolute value is math, num 1. Inside the absolute value symbols, type x minus 1. Okay, the other side of the equation, you will type in y2. So this time, just to do something different, I'm going to type over what's already here. Let's type x plus 15. And that will be both sides of the equation. Type graph, and you will see both sides. Now, unfortunately, in this screen, we cannot see the intersection point, and that means we need to go adjust the window in the calculator to be able to view the point of intersection. And you can probably tell it's up above the top edge of this screen. So go to your window. To move your graph up, change your y maximum to something larger. So I'm going to use my down arrow to go down to the y maximum, and I'm choosing 20. Sometimes you have to try several things until you get what you need, but 20 should work. Type graph. Now you can see the point of intersection. Find the solution by typing second, trace, 5, enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. The intersection point is negative 3.5. Okay, so let's move on to example 3. Now be careful, because example 3, the left side of that equation looks a lot like example 4, and I've messed this up 2 or 3 times today trying to do this. So just be warned, when you go to y equals, you can clear out the first equation, type in the left side of example 3. So make sure you're on the right problem. Type negative 2x, and then the x squared button to make that squared, plus 2. Don't put an x there. Now use the down arrow to go to the y2, and again, I'm just going to, let's clear it out this time, and type 2. And we're going to raise, use the little arrow up to raise to the power of x. Now use your right arrow to get off the exponent, because this minus 2 is not part of the exponent. Once that's typed, you can try graphing, but I'm going to type zoom 4 to produce what's called a square window. This is the one that was used in your handout. It's much easier to see because it kind of blows everything up. You're zooming in closer. Notice you can see 2 intersection points, so we're going to find those points by typing second, trace, 5, enter 3 times. And this time it went to the one on the right first. So I have a solution here of x is equal to 1. To find the other, second, trace, 5. Let's move our cursor to the left to get closer to that point of intersection on the left side of the screen. Oops. Type enter, enter, enter. And there's the second solution. Okay, to do example 4, let's go back to y equals. And you will note that the left side is almost the same here. So the only change is there is a x multiplied by 2 at the end. So use your arrows to go to the end of the line and just type x to modify that first equation. Now the second part, or y2 in this case, is going to be the right side of the equation. And this is totally different. So I'm going to type clear and then type negative 2x, open parentheses, x minus 3, close parentheses. Let's type graph. And I can see the 2 graphs, but you'll notice the directions don't even mention graph. They just say solve using a table. So I sometimes look at the graph even when I don't have to, because I can see a point of intersection here. So it tells me there is a solution, and it doesn't look like these would intersect again. So I'm not going to keep looking for another solution. Let's go to the table where we're supposed to be, which is second graph. And you'll see that this still has 3.5 listed as my first number. Well, I don't really want a decimal number. I'd prefer integers here. So let's go adjust our table back to normal. Second window. The table start, you can tell it to start wherever you want. I'll say 0. Or wherever, as long as it's an integer. Type second graph. And it just so happens 0 is the solution because the 2 y coordinates are both 0. So they are equal, which makes the solution x is equal to 0. And it is the only solution. Thank you. And if you haven't read the helpful hints, be sure to do so and practice, practice, practice until we meet again.